So welcome to the Psychology of Marriage Success. This is the 5th episode, and today we'll be talking about fortifying your marriage relationship by creating shared meaning and goals. Today, I'm Victor Onochie, and
I'm Adaeze Chiwoko from Marriage for Real.
so let's get into it.
We should.
We should.
In partnership.
With Zuma Coffee.
We can't miss that. I'm literally excited about this because it was my special request.
Okay.
Thanks, Wisdom.
So Wisdom, what's this one? Iced coffee.
I asked for it especially. Did you put my special ingredient in, Wisdom?
Something.
Oh! He never fails. He never fails.
Yeah, so try and get Zuma Coffee. Ask for iced coffee.
So good. It's nice, eh?
Yeah, lovely. It's better than the last one. Okay. So what does a fortified marriage look like?
Well, you tell me. What does a fortified marriage look like?
Yeah, so the idea behind a fortified marriage is to fortify something basically is to provide some sort of defense, some sort of protection, to strengthen something, basically.
Right.
Yeah, against attack or anything like that.
A fortified marriage is a strong marriage.
Is a strong marriage. That's
protected
what it is.
marriage.
Yeah. So
Right.
that's
Do you know
the
what
idea.
picture I got in my mind?
Okay.
One of like those old English castles. And they usually surround it with a fort. That's
Ooh.
the where the word fortified.
Five. Yeah.
I think that's where it came from. But anyway, it's making sense in my mind.
Okay.
They surround it by this fort. So you've got to breach that fort before you can get into
The castle.
the castle. The marriage is the castle.
Yeah.
And whatever we're going to talk about is going to be built in that fort.
True.
Right?
True.
And
True.
you came up with by fortifying by shared meaning.
Shared meaning.
So we're going to use shared meaning to build that fort, right?
Yeah.
To build that strong marriage. So how? What is the shared meaning? Like what exactly do we mean by that?
So shared meaning is finding things both of you can create together, things you guys look forward to, a vision you guys aspire to, activities you guys do together. So you're basically creating a relationship. That's what I would call shared meaning, is you're building something. Because one of the things that happen in marriage most of the time is you marry and the man is working, the woman is doing her thing, and you guys are just living together with the responsibility of just being married. But to create shared meaning is to sit down, plan things together, set goals together, work on things together. It bonds, it keeps both of you together. In the last video, we were talking about emotional affairs. And the more you are able to do things together with your spouse, like you always say that your husband is your best friend. And that helps both of you to be able to do things together, plan things together, go on vacation together, create projects that you guys want to work on together, So in doing that, you are actually fortifying that relationship. It's difficult for something to just come in to, wreck the marriage. It's difficult because you guys are going to be constantly on your face. You're going to be talking more. You're going to be dealing with things together a whole lot,
I follow the Gotham industry, this man and wife. You do a lot around relationships, a lot of research-based information. I think it's David.
John Gottman.
Is it
Dr. John Gottman?
Yeah.
Yeah, and his wife.
Right? Yeah. And one of the things that he talks about is love equity.
True.
And what you're talking about, creating those shared meanings, spending time together, goals together, dreaming together, planning together, all these things, traveling together, date nights, all those stuff.
Yeah.
I put it in lots of nice, positive love equity. And you almost see it as a jar, it's putting it in. And so it means that when a negative experience happens,
True.
we've got enough love equity here to overcome it.
True.
But if we don't,
Yes.
and I've seen this with couples where something happens that you would think with a couple that is fortified, this wouldn't rock them the way it's rocking you guys. It's rocking you guys because you really don't have enough of that
shared
fortifying,
meaning,
those shared meanings, right?
Yeah.
And so, that's what that concept is talking about, putting in enough. Some people call it the love tank.
Love tank.
Filling up that love tank so that when there are those difficult days, difficult moments, you've got enough to sort of hang on and overcome. I have something actually. I have a physical box. I call it my love box.
Okay.
And pretty much every letter, when we used to write letters to each other, every card, because when my husband sends me a birthday card, Valentine's card, whatever card, he puts a whole essay. He's great at that. I keep them. And sometimes when we're in a rocky place, I go to that and I remind myself of our love.
True.
I'll look at pictures and what have you and be like, gosh, we've got so much. This is nothing. Do you know what I mean?
So that's shared meaning. You guys have built shared meaning together. You've built something together. And so that is like a shock absorber in a vehicle to withstand.
That's such a good analogy.
Yeah.
It's a shock absorber.
True. So, but you find people who probably are even married for a long period of time, but they don't have shared meaning. Because one of the things, if you're not deliberate about it, is the tendency to drift apart is very strong. And you find situations where you find it difficult to actually be with this person, to sit with this person, to spend time with this person, because you guys have not been able to, think about things you guys can do together, plan together, work together, visualize together. There are a lot of things. Could be building a business, even building a house, could be raising the children. It could even be the things happening in the home, trying to probably help a child who's struggling with something, coming up with a curriculum together, not just leaving it to one person. Sharing, as easy as even creating the food timetable in the house. Doing things together, it helps you guys bond together, think together, learn how you guys think together, and it helps the marriage to be more solid.
And it creates that sense of a team.
That's the thing. Because a marriage is a team. It's a team. And a team without shared meaning and goal is not a team.
It's not a team.
Yes, it's just a group of people.
It's so true. Do you know what? It's making me think about, I always relate marriage to business. Maybe because business is my second love. And you have a business, one of the things that you will do with your team is share the mission.
Yeah.
Share the culture.
True.
What culture are we going to create here?
Yeah.
Share the values, right? And you literally, companies will have that written out. When you start a new company, you're going to read it, right? So that we can all say, okay, we all agree, we all co-sign this vision, this value set, this mission, right? And so that helps us to move in one direction.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's something that needs to happen. Here's what I think happens. I think couples do that in the beginning and make the mistake of thinking that everything is always going to stay the same.
This is it.
But my vision, maybe when I was 21, has changed greatly.
Yeah.
Now I'm at this age, and I'm not going to say what age I am. Same with Mr. Chiwoko. So it's something that we need to keep doing and keep talking about.
Talking about them, yeah. Because you probably have a vision, a personal vision. He has his own. Shared meaning is both of you talking about it in terms of integrating both your visions.
Not minusing one.
No, not minusing.
Are you sure?
No. Because that's another thing. Everybody, I always say this to couple. For me, I believe I have to take responsibility of my wife's destiny.
Oh.
she also has to take responsibility of my destiny. And once in a while, I'll call her up and say, what's most important to you? What do you want to achieve? What do you want to strive for? What do you want to do? I know you're doing this right now, but is there something else you think you want to do? And she'll be like, I don't think so. I have to encourage her. I have to inspire her. I have to pick from the little things I see she might be interested in. Well, how about this? How about that? And I have to take it as if it's mine, because her success, we're living in this world once. This is just a one-time existence. So I have to try as much as possible as a spouse to help her live her best life.
Honestly, I could just give you 100 high fives, because I just feel like people get married with such a selfish point of view. Yeah. You literally want to take someone's entire life
True.
and erase their own dreams, their own identity, their own vision, and you want them to get to a certain age and look back and be like, I could have done all these things, but I sacrificed my whole life for this person. And I feel like in the past we have encouraged martyrism in marriage. I sacrificed my life. I gave up on everything. I'm not championing you for that. I'm not going to applaud you for that behavior. I'm not. Because actually we should be celebrating people saying, I encouraged and supported my partner to be the best version of themselves. And guess what? He encouraged and supported me to do the same.
Yeah.
Right? Those visions and dreams that I had, I was able to achieve with wings beneath my wings because of my partner. Not that my wings were stripped because of my partner. I feel like I'm about to preach.
Preach. Preach. Take some coffee. Take some coffee.
Calm down. Take some coffee. I'm super passionate. I'm so glad that you raised this, Victor.
Yeah, it's very important. It's very important, because most times what might happen is the man's vision becomes the family's vision, which is not, that's not the idea. Marriage is two becoming one, and so it's the synergy of two people's vision becoming one, finding a way. You can't put away another one person's own. There has to be a way to work it out, because we are all unique, and the more we are doing what we are passionate about, the better we are as human beings. The more we are happier, the more we are better with other people. So if I'm doing something I really enjoy as a man, if I'm doing something I really enjoy, the better I am with my wife, the more I'm happy, the more I'm pleasant with her. And I say this, that when I was leaving my paid job, she encouraged me then, because she figured out that I was always emotionally drained when I come back. But we had to ask ourselves, like, leaving this thing, this is like an adventure. This is something that might not work as we plan it.
So let me just so that people get the background, right?
Okay.
You had a paid job. Was it as an accountant? That was your Monday to Friday, salaried, good job.
Yes.
And then you, as the man of the house,
my dear,
came and told your wife that you were leaving this job to go on some venture with life coaching.
Something like that.
And I just literally shared your story as if I was there. Please, you share your own story.
So I think I was encouraged by my wife. She saw the strength in me. She saw that thing in me. And she saw that it was something I was very passionate about. And so she would always encourage me. But then I also learned, because this is one of the things, a man will say, oh, my wife doesn't support me. One of the things I learned from my dad is you have to show results. If I want somebody to support something, the person has to see something. There has to be a track record. So I always believed that in whatever I was doing, I needed to put in the work. I needed to make it happen. And when the other person is seeing it, then the person can say, if this is happening like this, then who knows what can happen? It's not, I can't just come and tell my wife, oh, this is what I'm thinking, this is what I'm dreaming about. No, I need to be working on it. And so I have something to show. So that's what was going on. While I was doing my paid job, in the night, in the night, in the middle of the night, I will be studying on psychology, on all that. You understand? And I'll sleep, wake up, still have, I always tried, my wife was like, she's my best friend. You understand? So I'll always share these things with her, what I'm learning and all that. And she felt this is something that you could actually be very good in if you give it everything. If you give it everything. And so I would say situations happened in such a way that at the point I had to stop. I had to stop the paid job. Yeah, we had savings and all that. But then you're going into something that is not guaranteed. You're going into something that's not guaranteed. And another thing I believe is marry somebody who is strong. A man should, that's why I said marriage is really for mature people. Because there will be tough times. But if you both are mentally strong and understand that together you guys can weather the storm and face these things together, you guys can do anything. That's the truth. Right. But if you're with someone who is always scared, who is fearful, there's going to be a problem. You want to jump, the person is scared. Don't jump, you know. So I think for me, I was with somebody who also was matured, independent. And so when we made the decision, I struggled because as a man, I was looking at it. I have a list of responsibilities and all that. Why would I, you know, jump? And I remember that day I called her and told her, do you really think I should go on with this thing, you know, this resignation and all that kind of thing? Don't you think maybe we just leave it for another 3 months, you know?
Yeah.
And I can't forget her words. She said, hey, the worst case scenario is that we're going to drink Gary. That's right. The worst case scenario. But I believe that if you do what you're supposed to do, if you put in the work, maybe we'll not drink Gary for too long. So but good. At least you'll be happy and I'll be happy. You'll be fulfilled, I'll be fulfilled. You'll be doing something you really love to do. You figure it out, you know, things like that. And I remember I dropped the phone and I was sober. And I went ahead, dropped the resignation and, you know, I prayed though. And the prayer I prayed then was if I could get a client, if I could get a client as a sign, something to show me. And I got a client as a sign. That's the funny thing. I made the prayer on the Sunday. On Tuesday I had the client. So I felt like, okay, life is telling me, dude, you can't jump back anymore. And so I went. Was it easy? No. It wasn't easy. It was difficult because even whatever we thought we had as savings or whatever, we had different challenges, you know, investments, a lot of things. But we stuck it through. And I realized something that for every time I put in the work, every time I was consistent, we're always able to scale through to where we are right now, you know.
What I'm hearing as well, there was something that you said just then, is that it was difficult, but we pulled together and we made it through. True. What a lot of young couples don't understand is that great marriages aren't made in the easy times.
No.
It's so easy for me to love you when we're all feeling good. Yeah. That's fine. Yeah. It's when it's the hard times and you guys are forced to pull together. That's when your marriage is strengthened.
Exactly. So that's really the idea about shared meaning, shared goals. So yeah, that's the idea. Doing things together, planning together, trusting each other, respecting each other, valuing each other. Because, you know, most times I would tell, because most times when I work with a relationship issue, maybe I'm coaching a leader, and at the end of the day, you find out that it's a marriage issue that's really, and I say, life is difficult. Why burden your marriage to be a problem too? It's supposed to be your nurturing ground.
Because it's right at the core.
Yeah, it's supposed to be what really strengthens you to face the challenges of life.
Victor, let me tell you, if my husband was here, he'd be like, oh my gosh. Because when things were really difficult in our marriage, it really felt like there was a grey cloud over everything that we did. Everything just seemed to be hard in work, in business, everything just seemed to feel, life felt hard, right? Once we figured out our nonsense and started to actively and intentionally create the amazing marriage that we have now, it's like the clouds just went, you know, and life, everything that we sort of go for. I'm not saying that life is a walk in the park, but I'm saying that the doors open more freely. The sun is shining a lot more. Like life feels more like an adventure. It's more fulfilling, right? That gray cloud has gone. And so I always say to people, it's okay. You know, you invest in your business and you put energy into your work, and you put energy in all these things. But you better get your core right.
Yeah.
And that core is the marriage.
It's the marriage. It's the marriage. It's such a powerful force to propel you.
Oh gosh.
It's such a powerful force. I mean, what's true love if not wanting the best for the other person? So if you're just thinking about just yourself, oh, I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to achieve this, you should understand.
Do you know what? I remember my late dad, and my mum was studying. He's a lifelong academic. There's nothing he loves to do better than study. But what's amazing about him is, as a PhD holder, he was very passionate about my mum living her dreams to become an MBA holder, right? And he would support her to the point that any subject that she brought home, he would study that subject.
Exactly.
Right? Exactly. So that he could help her to make sure that she gets the best, right? I mean, you know, that's real support. Like, I need you to achieve what you want to achieve so that you can be the best. And you know what you said before about if you're feeling happy and fulfilled because you're going after your dream, then it means it's going to make you a better person to be around, right? Because your energy, the vibe with you, right? It's going to impact. And I really strongly believe that our energies impact the atmosphere of our marriage, right?
It's inside out.
It's inside out. So if you're miserable, the energy field around you is going to feel hard, which is going to impact the atmosphere of our marriage.
The marriage,
But if you're coming in every day excited about your own life journey, then that's going to be better for me.
Even your kids, the whole energy in the home, is going to be nurturing, and the home should be a nurturing ground. The energy there should be warm. It should be encouraging. It should be loving. And it has to be deliberate.
That's how you create a fortified marriage.
Yeah.
That's how you create a fortified marriage. Do you know what? I was going to ask something, but I don't know if it's for another. It almost feels like another topic, but it is making me think about those couples who compete.
And I'm
going to call out men that are really uncomfortable with supporting their wives to achieve greatness in case their wives achieve higher heights.
So this is the thing, because a man you are an individual as a man. The woman is an individual. Now, based on your strengths, it could be that your wife is gifted to a point where she probably is, her strengths tilt her to create a business that could be mega. And it's not as if you are not doing great too. But now, okay, so we want to look at it in terms of income. So let's say your wife is raking in, say, 10 million. Just 10 million a month. And you are probably raking in, say, 3 million a month. You're doing okay. But she's doing a whole lot more than this.
Sorry for people listening that's based in the UK or anywhere else. I mean, she'd be a mega rich person. She's doing 10 mil a month in pounds. About 10,000 a month in pounds.
In pounds.
Wifey and husband's doing about 3K a month. Right?
Exactly. So now, in that situation, where two people are friends, where two people are together in something, nobody rubs off on anyone.
It's our money.
You understand? When it comes to the marriage, there are projects. There are things to be done. There are bills to pay. There are certain things to do. We look for how to go about handling them. We discuss about how to deal with them. it doesn't mean as a man you start feeling less of a man because your wife is earning more. I mean, one wonderful example I always look at is Sarah Bakley and her husband Jesse Eager or something like that. Sarah is the founder of Spanx.
Okay. Oh, all right. Okay.
And Sarah is a billionaire. She's a billionaire. Jesse, I don't think he's a billionaire. But you see their relationship. You understand? It's still, I mean, most times she wants to do something, you know, she wants the car to drive. She still talks to Jesse, you know, what car do you think I should go out? So there's still that union. There's still that relationship.
They're friends.
They're friends. And that's why I say, as friends, it's easier.
They're
Two people have got each other's back. I need to support whatever would make you the best version of yourself.
It's that shared meaning.
It's that shared meaning. You understand?
So if I'm doing great, we're doing great.
We have to exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
If I'm pulling in the 10 mil, yes, we're pulling in the 10 mil.
Yeah. And
I claim it. I'm pulling in the 10 mil. Hey.
And it should be, there is no way I will be happy if I'm doing well and my wife is not happy. Doing well in her own
and let me tell you, this is, of all the things that I love about my husband, I actually said this to him the other day. Yeah. Of all the things that I love about him, I love the fact that he literally allows me to be me.
Yeah.
And he allows me to go out and explore.
Yeah.
And trust me, it's not an easy road for him because I'm that girl that's like, oh, babe, I feel like I can do this. And then next week, like, oh, babe, I feel like I can do that. So it's not an easy road for him.
Yeah.
But he's always said, whatever my dreams are, he wants to be the person that says, go ahead and achieve all that you want to achieve.
Who else should be
not only says that, but actually will be the person that's like, okay, I've sorted out this for you. I've helped you with that bit of it. And maybe we should be doing this. True. Like, it takes it on like it's his.
So, you know, you probably, you go, you pay a life coach and all. Your spouse should be your life coach.
Okay.
Your spouse should be, when you're double guessing yourself, your spouse should be that person who is like a backbone to you, who lets you know how wonderful you are, who lets you know that we're together on this. You can do this. Okay, what do you want to start with this? Start doing it first of all, and let's see how it goes. It's your spouse that should be the first person to do that. You know, as a man, you do it. Yeah, men have the way, you know, they don't show weakness and all that, but a sound spouse, woman, should pick on a husband and know when to come to give him some encouraging words. It could be sometimes I'm in the study, I'm doing work, and my wife comes back from work, she comes in, she just gives me a peck in the head. She just taps me in the back. You know, you've got this. Yeah. Probably I've told her a day before that, you know, things are feeling this way, there's this going on, I'm not able to meet up with this. And she knows. But she sees me putting in the work and she comes, she taps me in the back. She gives me a peck.
I love that.
And that for me makes me feel like, man, I can do anything. You know, I'm more encouraged because I know she understands what I'm going through and what I'm trying to do. You understand? And that should be, it's vice versa. I go, I see her, and whatever she wants, I want to know what's disturbing her. I want to know what's holding her back. I want to know, okay, you had this thing you wanted to do 2 years ago. Why are you not doing it right now? What's stopping you? What do you think we can? Start thinking of how to sacrifice certain things.
But Victor, you'll be amazed at how many women I speak to.
Okay.
And again, I want the women who are watching this to sort of comment and tell me how they feel. But you'll be amazed how many women I speak to who say, oh God, I really wanted to do this, but my husband won't support it. Or I wanted to start this business, but my husband won't allow me. Okay. Right?
So there's something about, you know, guys are always very practical. Guys always try to be very practical. And when a lady says she wants to do something, one of the things I've learned working with couples is she might have like a dream, but she hasn't thought it through. That's where the husband comes in. instead of shutting it down, is to think it through with her, to start helping her, because you'll be amazed what a woman can do if you build her confidence. If you build her confidence. And it doesn't mean that you have to be the one doing these things for her, but as much as building her for it, breaking through the ideas for it. Okay, so what do you think you would need to start this thing from the very get-go? What do you think? Now, who do you think will need this thing? Why are you trying to do it? Considering the family, how do you think we would prioritize it in terms of, you guys talk it through.
And I think that should be a two-way thing.
It's a two-way thing.
There shouldn't be this idea that a woman doesn't know what she's doing. She needs to sort of, it should be like if hubby came with an idea, there should be that same level of energy. Well, let's sit down and talk it through as well. Because there's some very smart women.
Sometimes I think from the female perspective, one, it's either they just feel he knows what he's doing and they just they don't want to. He wants to have that discussion.
Right.
But she feels he should have it sorted out.
Right.
You should be the responsible man to know, what to do. But sometimes one of the things I realize is men might not be as expressive, which should not really be.
Well, men might not be. Men are not as expressive.
Exactly. But I've spoken to quite a lot of men, and they want their wives to be part of what they're doing.
Well, that's good to hear. I know that to be true. I know.
They want their wives to be part of what they're doing, And it's the same thing the other way around.
Yes.
You understand? This is my friend. Why won't I want you to be part of what I'm doing? I want you to be there. I want you to see it. I want us to grow it together. I want to look at your story. I want us to do the same thing. If I'm doing anything, speaking in public and things like that, my wife would probably take time off from work and come to cheer me. Me seeing her on from the stage, it just makes me know that we started this thing together. Like, that's my person. That's my number one fan and things like that.
Yeah,
so
I love that.
That's the creating shared meaning. Just like we're saying, women should know that men want that. They want you to be part of what they're doing, even if they are not as much expressive. Little things, see how you can come in, chip in one or two things. Even just ask him about what he's doing. Just ask him about what he's doing,
right.
And get him to start talking, It's enough of a bond, Then for the men, also, you should be able to support the woman, even how she's thinking, because we all need to grow. It might be that she has not done business, she has been working all her life, but she wants to do something. It's not even business. It could be, she wants to shoot a YouTube, whatever she wants to do. What you need to do is to help her, figure out why do I really want to do this?
Right.
So that it's not for superficial reasons, but for something more deep, something she connects to even more. So that when she's doing it, it will not just be from a place of just, trying to, copy the Joneses or anything like that, but it's from something she feels is important. Basically, is shared meaning, working with each other, ensuring that you're not thriving and leaving the partner behind.
But I also want to say that discussion is so important, because it might mean that we say, okay, well, we're going to focus on your vision for a certain amount of time, and then when we reach that point, we'll start. Maybe it's not that everybody can do everything at the same time.
Of course.
But I think that having those regular discussions means I don't feel like I'm just being left out to dry.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? And my best years have been given to raising babies, and now I'm 58 and I don't know what to do with my life.
It shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that way. We should be able to. So, for instance, and that's why couples should be able to set goals together. This is one thing maybe couples don't do that much. Set a yearly goal. Set quarterly goals.
You know what Mr. C and I do?
Yeah.
Every year we get to the end of the year, or sometimes we do it at the beginning of the year. We used to just go on a date with it. Now, I bring the notepad and pen, and we'll talk about what went well, and then what we want for the next year. We started to sort of travel with it. So like this year we went to Paris, and we had our planning meeting in Paris. And yeah, we planned. That's how I'm here. We planned that I would come and stay in Abuja and figure out this place and all of that sort of thing. So, and it helps. Yeah, it makes us feel like we are doing life together.
Exactly.
Right.
Because life is every day.
Right.
You're not waiting for the day to start doing life together.
Right.
Once you start, you've started as friends. You start doing it together, planning together.
I loved that discussion.
Yeah. It's I think it gives couple something to think about. You know, to be more, to have time to share, spend time together, talk things through. It shouldn't be one trying to impose their way or their ideas or whatever, or how it should be or not. It should be a discussion. And like I'll always say, for I and my wife, whatever we want to do and we talk about it. You know where they say the man is the head of the home and all that? For me, what I am constantly looking or thinking about is, what is the best for both of us? What is the best for the marriage? What is the best for the home? I might not have that best. So when we're discussing, it's not that my own opinion has to be the one we go with. It's which is the best for us to go with that helps both of us. So if it comes, I might raise that, we need to talk about this and find out a way to do this. And she comes up with the better opinion. I'm like, let's do this. Let's do this.
That's amazing.
And that's still the creating shared meaning. And if couples come from that paradigm that it's partnership, let the best idea win. Why? Because if the best idea win, we both win. We both win. You understand?
Boom.
And so that's why underneath they have to. It shouldn't be competition. It shouldn't be trying to be the boss or anything. No, it should be two people coming together to find the best way to live their lives. And because trust me, a woman might have strengths in certain areas where the man doesn't have the strength.
It usually is the case and vice versa.
Of course. So in that area, I would expect to hear more from her because that's her strength. Where it's my strength, I would speak up.
Yeah.
And then because the goal is let the best idea win. And once the best idea wins, I mean, it's the best, because I always say it, couples should understand that destinies are involved. As a man, I shouldn't feel like, it's how I want to do. No, I have to know that this woman's destiny is involved. My children's destiny is involved. So in everything I'm thinking about, it is how do I maximize each person's destiny? And one of the best ways is to ensure you support these people to get some sort of freedom to be able to express themselves. The same thing with the woman. She's looking at it from that place. What's the best way to maximize my husband's destiny, my children's destiny? Not how I want it to be. Not me to say, this is what my children will be, or this is what my husband will be, and all. No. How can I help everybody in the family to be the best they can be? Because the gift of life is once, and they're here.
Once.
So that's what it is. Shared meaning, fortifying your marriage, building friendship, just like Adaeze and Mr. Chiwoko.
Love it. Love it. Love it. All right. Next week.
Okay.
Sorry, not even next week. Next episode.
Next episode.
What are we talking about?
Tell me. I want to hear that.
Dope. We are talking about creating the perfect marriage dynamic.
Mm-hmm. I'd like to hear that.
Yeah. Dynamics in marriage.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what we're going to be talking about. That's it. You've been listening to Adaeze Chiwoko from Marriage for Real and
Victor Onochie from Genius Metaphor.
You can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and all those good places at Marriage for Real.
I am Victor_Onochie.
And this episode, as always, is brought to you in partnership with Zuma Coffee, which obviously we're addicted to.
Yeah.
Don't forget to subscribe. Boom. Don't forget to hit that notification button so that you get notified whenever we release a new episode. And if you're a Spotify person, that is exactly where you need to be so that you can listen on the go.
Awesome. Well done. Bye.